Yeah, we had some good news recently. Um, 2 years ago now, I think it was, they did some fin clipping over on Green Lake, as I've talked about before in the past. When we are gathering eggs for our hatcheries, we take the eggs from the female and the milk from the male, and we put them in different bowls, and then we combine them to fertilize the egg. But what we also do is we do a genetic fin clip. We take a little piece of fin, clip it off, and put it in a vial. And it's got alcohol in it. It's a numbered vial, and we get a kit from UW Stevens Point, and so that we know if we use this female and this male to produce those fertilized eggs, they can be genetically paired with that two fish. And then we send them up to Stevens Point, and they process these in a fantastic machine. They can run 100 of these vials in one batch, and come back the next morning, and there's a DNA analysis done of all of those fin clips, so they know just what the DNA profile of that male looks like and that female looks like. So in the fall of the year, the department folks go out with their shock boats, and they try to find fall fingerlings, young of the year walleyes. These are all 5 to 7 inches long, maybe a little more, a little less. But last year, they fin clipped just over 300 fish to get the 9 million eggs that they had in that hatchery last year. They used to do 11 million, but it gets to be a lot of work. So they've cut back a little bit now, and they're trying to do about 9 million. But in the fall of the year, when the department folks went out and did their survey, they get these little fish, and they also do a fin clip. They take a clip just like we did from the larger fish and put it in a vial, send it up to Stevens Point, and they run a DNA analysis on those clips from the young of the year fish, and then they can actually tell if they came from a pairing that we used for the eggs and the milk in the springtime. Well, good news was 74% of the fish that they captured actually had a genetic relationship to those fish that we used in our hatchery. That's as good as we can get. That also means that there is a proportion of fish on Green Lake that are spawning naturally, and that's a good thing. And people say, well, why don't you just quit? Well, there always was fish, or there always has been walleyes in Green Lake forever. But their population wasn't a really good fishable population. There were enough that spawned and made it to keep the population there, but it wasn't a robust population. I know our company fishing tournament was there for 20 years, and I caught exactly one walleye in those 20 years. We always fished at night because it's a deep and cold lake. But there were big fish there, but not many. And now, as many people know, Green Lake has quite a fish population. We probably can boast that there are 15 or so year classes of fish based upon the success that we've had out of our hatchery. Adam Nickel Floyd tagged. He was the biologist out of Watoma at the time. He Floyd tagged 450 walleyes. And of course, they request that when you catch one of these that you report the tag, and then they'll give you a certificate that says when it was tagged, how big it was tagged, when it was tagged, and that kind of thing. One individual, and I'm going to pick on Appleton, from Appleton, who is an avid fisherman on Big Green, caught 14 tagged fish in 1 year. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to catch that many tagged fish, but these are the way that they determine exploitation, and they determine how big the population is based upon the tag returns. But so that's what we've been doing on Green Lake. But like I said, 74% is a good percentage. The best we've ever had before was on Lake Geneva a number of years ago at 65%. We're waiting for the samples from from Shawano Lake. They are at Stevens Point right now, hopefully being processed soon, and we would be very interested in see what kind of success we've had up there. So just thought I'd let you know what's going on with a couple of our hatcheries.